Well, hello to you. How are you guys doing today? Welcome in. Today I want to talk about the waning square, Saturn square Uranus. We have been dealing with this for 2 years now. Okay, so we're on our way out, which is, I believe, a happy thing. We're on our way, almost finished with it. December we'll be finished with it. Saturn-Uranus Square is about a breakthrough in consciousness. And at this point, with the waning square, right? Saturn is in Aquarius and Uranus is in Taurus. So you might want to check in your chart and to see where Saturn and Uranus are in your chart. You also might want to look and see what planets you have that are at 18 degrees, because they are exact square at 18 degrees today, October 4th. I personally have a ton of stuff at 18 degrees or 19 or 17. Don't go too much further than that, because then it's like it loses its oomph. And actually, Uranus square Saturn has a lot to do with the collective. So let's do a little reading today about that, about what's going to be happening or what is coming because of this energy. There can be a breakthrough of collective consciousness, okay? It can be a mass breakthrough. Usually there's some kind of, with a square, squares are like tension. So there can be some kind of surprise event that happens today, right? Today, tomorrow, like while it's still tight. And that can be a little shocking. So I want to get a sense from tarot what is going on. Great adventure. Take a risk and venture forward. I like that. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. I know we are all in it together, aren't we? Yes, we are. Wise leader, you are a beacon for others. So the other day, I think it was Pathfinders. I can't remember exactly who I was talking to, but we were talking a little bit about, hey, there's lots of tension going on. There is a potential shock to the system here or globally. And so I wanted to do this reading because of that, and because I want to light more of a fire than I even have up until now, to open you up to the possibility of you being in leadership. Some of you may have already had this awakening. Some of you have stepped into your gifts and stepped into shining your light more brightly. And I feel like whatever happens over the course of the next couple of days may give you a clue as to what your next steps are in terms of becoming a wise leader or becoming part of spiritual leadership on this planet. I mean, that is what we're doing here. We're working on helping each other shine our lights more brightly. I'm working on that with you. You're working on that with me. All right. It goes both ways. 5 of Swords underneath. The 4 of Cups. I also see the Hermit here, so I'm taking that. Hermit and the 10 of Swords. I see the 6 of Pentacles. All right, I'll take all that. 4 of Cups, Tower. Yep, there we are. 5 of Wands, Death energy, Scorpio energy, Ace of Cups. Knight of Wands, 2 of Cups, 8 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. All right, awesome. So look at the strife going on here, okay? Beset with strife. Look at this. 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. There's 5 of Swords and 10 of Swords. So I'll talk about this for a second here. The 5 of Swords is definitely about winners and losers, okay? And I feel like we're moving out of this kind of hierarchical experience of life. We are not going to be in the same systems that we've been accustomed to. And when systems break down, we have strife, okay? So there are going to be people who feel like they've lost something if we change what's going on in the world. There are going to be people like that. And there will be people who feel like we've traded places. So those who are in this place of feeling powerless, I'm going to say, are going to have more power. The 6 of Pentacles. So this person who has a lot of power right now and maybe rules by financial stability or financial power in some way are not going to be, that's not going to be the powerful thing. The financial wherewithal that someone has is not going to be the power. It is going to be the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom that we've been talking about for years on this channel. And that is going to be the power. So if you look at this 4 of Cups Tower and the 5 of Wands, there's more of that kind of, right now, this is the energy of waiting, which is where we are. And the Tower happens, and then there is a struggle. Okay, so that's likely to happen. We do have another brush with Saturn square Uranus in December, but then it's done. Okay, the last time, I believe, I was reading some articles last night, I believe the last time that Saturn square Uranus was really in play like this was the 1970s. Okay, so that will give you some indication of what you may experience or what may be experienced. There's just a lot of clashing of ideas. This is now, there is an opening for big change. There's an opening for new leadership. Okay, and spiritual leadership is the thing that we are dealing with right now, that you and I are concerned with, because that is going to be the transformative energy. Okay, the Death card and the Ace of Cups. So what's coming in, this beautiful Ace of Cups, the Knight of Wands, things moving forward more cleanly, more easily. And I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it automatically becomes all, a bed of roses or, this kind of sparkly new world. I do feel like that takes quite a while to really transpire. And I think there are a lot of people who are still going to be in the lurch. Okay. And that's why part of my mission has been to activate you on your mission. That's what I'm doing here every day. And that's what I'm, that's why we don't talk about personal things all the time. We talk a little bit more about global things, at least in these readings. And it may become a personal thing, because I am seeing this 2 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So there's like new alliances being formed, new friendships, new possibilities, people, the transformation, taking care of each other, helping each other, a new chapter coming in. Now, you may see this in your personal life. So you may have an experience where, okay, things kind of break down, and it's it's time to move on from a situation. Stepping into your spiritual leadership is the thing. It does flip this paradigm on its head. So it's not about who has the most money. It's about who's the most plugged into spirit. And that is going to be a massively powerful game changer. And so those who are not really plugged into spirit, those of not you guys, because you're here, but those folks who aren't really understanding all this stuff about ascension and how love works and how love is a grid for all of us. We are all plugged into this grid of love. I know that doesn't sound tremendously enticing, but believe me, it is a thing that is going to support us and help us for a long time to come. And so there's a lot of people out there who don't understand how that might work. And so part of your job as stepping into this spiritually awakened community is, okay, it's fairly obvious to me that my job is to step into my spiritual gifts more. Please, Archangel Michael, please, Archangel Raphael, please, Archangel Metatron, please allow us to see the path, us to step on the path, us to create the path, us to work together in a high vibration of love and acceptance and companionship and unconditional love. Allow us to kind of energetically hold hands and elevate the energy of the planet. That's what we're doing here. And I think a lot of you do see that. All right. A lot of you, because I've read the notes. A lot of you are seeing this coming. I do see Virgo and I do see Scorpio here. I see Sag. So there might be some kind of special messages for those signs. I'll do those in the extended. But what's definitely coming down the road is a brand new day. This is within the month. All right. So the timing card is in October. A lot of times we have situations go down in October. October seems to be a watershed month for a lot of things. If you look back in history, even just recent history, you'll notice that October is kind of a flashpoint. It can be a moment in time when the path shifts from one thing to another. We've had a lot of financial upheavals. We've had a lot of collective awakenings before in October, and I don't think this will be anything different. I think we are going to experience that. And let me clarify, because the Tower is right now. So let me clarify about the Tower. Please help me understand the Tower. The World. Okay. Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Again, the Five of Swords. We've got to work together. Okay. This is a closure. This is closure on one way of life and the beginning of something new. Knight of Swords it's coming fast. Look at that wave. Look at that wave. It is coming fast. This is brought together by love, the love of each other, the unconditional love of each other, the ability to work together. And there are going to be people who are not down with this energy of love, who are much more an every man for himself kind of thing. And I just don't think that that's going to go very well. I feel like the every man for himself thing is going to be a very challenging place to be. Okay. So, Eight of Swords, I mean, just in terms of spiritual awakening, you are never alone. We're always connected. We have this kind of grid that we have already created because of the love of humanity, the love of each other. Those of you who are on the twin flame path, we've been talking about love for a long time. And if you pull that storyline up into more of a global thing, you'll see about the masculine and feminine coming together, which is exactly what I'm talking about here. So what about the Eight of Swords? Eight of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Beautiful. There's a beautiful energy here of working together. These threes. Now, this is one time when I really like this third party energy. It's sort of like the masculine and the feminine and the higher self working together. So things can now start to progress. The Six of Swords, right? Things can start to progress. The Knight of Cups is very much the energy of opportunity as it relates to what we want to create. The Ace of Cups there, what we want to create with each other. And the Page of Swords is the ability to communicate it. So Mercury has now gone direct, and we're going to be able to communicate a lot more easily. Six of Swords and the Page of Swords. And the Three of Wands is about, the spiritual community has been accessing the grid, right? The spiritual grid, all of us putting prayers out into the universe, connecting with our spirit guides, connecting with the global grid of 5D living, quantum physics, quantum plane, all of these things that we've been talking about. We've been in connection with that. Now there's some real rubber hitting the road in terms of how does that look? What is that going to look like? Okay. And y'all are plugging into it with your authenticity, with your spiritual path guidance that you've been, the hermit here and the wise leadership. Y'all know that this is impending. I know I've read your notes. Okay. So Ace of Swords. Let's clarify a little bit about the Ace of Swords. The Two of Wands, the Eight of Wands, beautiful. The Six of Cups and the Fool. All right, brand new day, brand new path. Now, I like the Two of Wands here because the Two of Wands is the action of prayer, okay? The action of prayer, and Three of Wands is the receiving of that prayer. So conversation has two parts. It has talking and it has listening. So if you are asking your guides for more information, it's time to listen. It's time to listen. I have been getting quite a lot of downloads around the archangels. We are likely going to do some archangel work this October. I feel like it's super important, and I feel like your prayers have been heard and answered, and it's just a matter of listening for the information to come back to you. What is it going to look like for me? What is it going to look like for how I'm plugged into the universe, how I'm plugged into my spirituality, how I'm plugged into higher vibration energy? How am I going to change? The death card. How am I going to change? It's becoming much more authentic, much more part of your everyday life. And I think that there's a significant, I don't know how significant, but there's a number of people who are going to be really new to this. And we've talked about this at other points on this spiritual journey, that you might need to be on the lookout for people who are like lost, okay? And who are, it could even be members of your family or friends. And maybe for the last couple of years, there's been some separation because, you know, maybe they're not on the spiritual path. Maybe they haven't done any kind of work around that for themselves. And this is going to come down and they are going to look to you. Okay. If you have done any kind of talking about your spiritual path, they're going to look to you. All right. So let's keep going. Today, Tuesday, October 4th, I am doing a live with the Thursday and Wednesday folks, the Pathfinders and the Wednesday live people. We're moving it to today, Tuesday at noon Eastern time, because I'm going to be doing some traveling later this week. So I want to make sure that we're talking, especially on this day. Saturn square Uranus, sudden breakthroughs happening, collective wisdom opening up, plenty of people now wanting to know what this is all about. Finally, they now want to know what this is about. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. The link is below if you want to continue on with me. If we're part of Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.